Hello everyone. Today we are going to show you the tutorial for making chapter 6 tutorial 3. So this is a SolidWorks class again. So once again it's chapter 6 tutorial 3 and we are going to make the part by using SolidWorks. So first of all, let me show you the ship. So this is a part that we're going to make, and this is the sketch. So first of all, we are going to make a dust sketch first. Then I'm going to go ahead and start the SolidWorks. So as you can see, this is actually on the origin, and the center of two circles is actually not on the origin. Okay, so this is the center of two circles. So I am going to start to make that. So start SolidWorks and create a new file and a new part here. Say OK, and change the units, change the millimeter. This looks good to me. And I am going to sketch and select a front plane. And I am going to make a sketch of that. So first of all, I'm going to make two circles. So like I said, it's not on the origin. So I am going to make one and make the other one. Then I am going to make some lines. So the lines is supposed to be landed up at the origin. So I am going to start it here. So that the inner one, and make a straight line. So make sure the horizontal relation is showing up. Then going up, close it here, and make the opposite one. Make lines again. So line it up, start it here, and make sure the horizontal relationship is showing up, and vertical, and connect it to this part, and say OK. Now I'm going to dimension that. So the smaller one, it says the radius is 80. So I put 80 here as a radius. So it's a diameter. So I put 80 times 2 as the diameter. And the second one, the radius says 105. So it's 105 times 2. And that's the diameter. And the height side is 39. Okay, so the height here it says 39, and overall is 300, and the height is 25. Okay, so I am going to put all dimensions there. Go back to SolidWorks. Then the dimension from here to there is 39. So I put a 39 here. Then the overall is 300. From here to there is 300. And so the shape is changed a little bit. Then I'm going to drag the shape back so it looks better. I go out of Smart Dimensions and then drag it up here. Then look better. I go to Smart Dimension. I dimension the half of that is 150 because I'm trying to make it in the middle. So dimension this as 150, and I need another 25 because the height here is 25. So I put a 25 here. And the next thing is the circle. So I need to make sure the circle's origin, the circle's center and the origin, they are vertical. So I'm going to add a vertical relationship. So add a relation, click the center. Click center here and say they are vertical and say OK. Now they are all black. Now I'm going to trim off the extra parts. So actually this line is supposed to be lined up here. So I am going to go ahead and delete this line and redraw that. Make a line here and connect to this point. Then they are still black. So I am going to trim off the part. So always select the bottom one. So I am trimming off this part. I don't need this either. And take off this, take off this. So that's all I need, and it's still black. Then I am going to save my part into somewhere in case I lose it. So put it here. And the next thing is we're going to extrude. So I go to features here, extrude, and select the part. And the total distance there is supposed to be 150 because if you look at the sketch, so go one more back. So the largest circle is 150 as the diameter. So I'm going to extrude as 150. So I put 150 here. But instead of extruded in one direction, I probably want to make it in the center middle plane. So I am going to select the middle plane here. And now it's in the middle plane. My sketch is on the middle plane. And I say OK. In the next part, I will need to create another reference geometry, which I can draw this part on top of that surface. Okay, so right now I have this, and I'm going to create a new surface, okay, that is parallel to this surface and also tangent to the top surface. So, and now after that, I'm going to make the sketch of this on the surface that I created. So I'm going to create the reference geometry first. So I go to a reference geometry. Okay, reference geometry here, and click apply. Then select the first reference. I would say this plane. Okay, this plane, and it's tangent automatically. And I click the second reference as this surface. And I want it to be parallel instead of perpendicular, so I check parallel. So this is the surface that I want. Then I say OK. And the next thing, I am going to create the part on top of that. So a few circles, circle here, circle there, 2 circles here. So the small one is 25 radius, and the large one is 75. And I'm going back, so it's better for me probably use a top view. Okay, so I'm going to change the top view here. And I'm going to draw the circle. So I could also change the size of the plane, so look a little bit better to me. And I go back to sketch again, and go into sketch. Then I'm going to start the sketch here on this plane. So I draw a circle. So right now it's tangent is showing up. Okay, the tangent is showing up, which is a good thing. I say OK, and I draw another 2 circles, just approximate position, because we're going to dimension them shortly. So small circles here. Then I am going to put the dimensions on. So the large one says 75 as the diameter, as the radius. So the diameter is 150, looks right to me. And the other small 2, each one is 50 as the diameter, so 25 radius. So I give a dimensions on, so it's 50 as well. And I'm going to give a distance in between. So the distance is 250. Okay, so 250. And each of them is going to be 125, which is half of 250. So I need to give both of them. So the overall is 250. I'm going to dimension that as 250. And each one is 125. So I do here to there, and this is, I say 250 divided by 2 is 125. Now next thing, I will need to make this 3 centers to be on the same line, so to be horizontal. So I'm going to add relations and select the 3 points and see they are horizontal. Say OK. The next one, I'm going to make straight lines to make them to be tangent. Okay, so that's 4 straight lines to make the shape to be tangent. So I go straight line here. So I pick a point, any point, and make sure the tangent relation is showing up. As you can see, the yellow. So there is a coincident and a tangent. So until it's showing up, so I drop down the line here. And I do another line, so start a random point on the circle, and until the tangent relation is showing up. So as you can see, it's showing up right now. Okay, so I drop it down here. Then I draw the third line. So I go to lines here, and I start any point, and until the tangent relation is showing up. So it's showing up, so I drop it down here. And do the last one. So I'll line here, and until the tangent is showing up, and say OK. So actually, as you can see, only the first one, it picked both tangent. So the other, actually they don't. Okay, so I'm going to manually add relations, tangent here, tangent here, tangent here. So I am tangent here as well. So I am adding relationships. So from here and there. So they're supposed to be tangent. And the same thing for add relations, this circle and this line to be tangent. Say OK. And same thing, add relation, the circle and the line to be tangent. Say OK. And add a relation, the line and the circle says tangent. Say OK. And the last tangent, so add a relation, select the line in the circle, say tangent, and OK. Now everything is black, is fully defined as well. So I'm going to save the work. Then I am going to trim off the extra part that I don't need. So I click this, click that, and click this, and say OK. So everything's still black and fully defined, and I save the work. So I make the part on the top surface. In the next step I'm going to do is do a cut. So I'm going to cut off the extra parts here. So 4 corners. So I am going to use extruded cut. So I go to features and extruded cut. Okay, extruded cut here. Then it's actually recognized. And make sure when you do, you check the flip side to cut. Otherwise, I'm going to show you. So otherwise, it's going to be like this. So this is not what you want. You want to keep the center and trim off the edges. So what you can do is you right-click the cut extruded and select the first one, edit feature. And you go in there and you check the flip side to cut. Okay, flip side to cut. So it's going to cut off the outside part and say OK. Then this is what you're looking for. And you save the work. In the next part, we are going to make another reference surface. So it's going to say create a plane and offset the distance 150 from the top plane. So your top plane is actually at the bottom. So I am going to create another surface that is offset 150 from the top plane. So I'm going back here. So I do reference geometry and click a plane and select the first reference. So you don't see the top plane. So what you can do is you click the drop down button and there is a top plane. As you can see, it's at the bottom. So the orange one. So you select that and give a distance here says 150. Let me double check. Yeah, it's 150. And say OK. And now your surface is at the top. And right now you only want to show the plane 2. You don't want to see plane 1. So you could left click the plane 1. Okay, left click the plane 1 and hide the part. Now it's not in there. So it is hidden, but it's still in there. Now I am going to make a circle on top of the plane 2, like this circle. Then I am going to extrude until it's connected. So I'm going to make a circle as the diameter 150. So I'm going back here. So I want to change the top view first so I can see the plane better. So I go to top plane. Then I go to sketch And they ask me which plan I want to draw. Of course, I want to select the plan tool. So this is the plan that I want to draw the sketch. So I select the circle, do a circle here until it's tangent, and say OK. And give a dimension. Dimension there says 150. So after I put there, it's black. It's fully defined. Then I am going to extrude to the bottom. So if I go to features, then extruded boss or base. So select that. So it's in the wrong direction, and I flip the direction. Okay, I flip the direction here. So if I do like this, which is a blend, so it's going to extrude until the bottom, which is not what we want. So we could do either check up to the next, because this is the next, so that works. Or you could do up to the surface. So if you do that, they'll ask you to select a surface up to. So you could select the top surface, so it's going to be the same result. So either one. And you say OK. And after that, the next step, I'm going to cut all the inside holes here. So what the book recommended is make another surface, so which is the front plane, and you draw this contour here, and you do a revolve cut. Okay, so I'm going to draw this contour on the front plane and do a revolve cut. So I am back here. So I don't want to see plan 2 anymore. So once again, I click plan 2 and I hide it. Then I am going to go to sketch again, and it will ask me which plan that I want to draw. So once again, I click the drop down button here. Then I go to front plane. Okay, front plane. So it's right in the center. If you did the extrusion at the beginning, if you did the middle plane, so it's going to be right in the center. And I am going to start make a drawing on that. So in order to see it better, I probably want to change it to the front view. Okay, do a front view. Then I am going to make all those parts. So start here and make a line. Make sure it's vertical, so I don't need to add dimensions later on. Make one here and go straight, and down here, and make sure that's vertical as well. And connect that, and say OK. Then I'm going to go ahead and give it dimensions. So the dimensions is 75 as a total, 100 at the top. So 100, so half of that is 50, because half of 100, and 75 at the bottom. So I click that, 75 divided by 2. Then also I need a 20 as here. So I am going to go ahead and put a 20 there. And now everything is black. Okay, everything is black. Now I am going to do a revolve cut. Okay, so so there are traffic light here, so I'm going to save the work first. Okay, now it's disappeared. So and I select the sketch 4 because this is where I want to do a revolved cut. So I select the revolved cut, and it will ask me select the axis. Okay, so I want to cut it in with this axis and rotate in this way. So I'm going to select this line as the axis, and this is a preview. Look good to me, and I select OK. Then I made the cut. Looks good. Then I save the work periodically. And as the last step, I'm going to make these 2 holes. And the diameter of the hole is 25 diameter. And I am going to use Hole Wizard again. Because if you use Hole Wizard, when you call out in the future, it's easy. All the information will be there. So I go to Hole Wizard and select the Hole Wizard. And select the third one because this is a simple hole. The others, you don't need a counter bore, you don't need a countersink, so it's just a center one, a simple one. So if you select others, they'll ask you a lot of questions later. So just select the simple hole. And we're in the ANSI metric, So don't check inch, we do ANSI metric. And the size of the hole, it says 25. Okay, so it says 25. So I take a look at the 25, and I do have a 25 here. So if I don't, I could check the show customer sizing, and I could change that. And everything looks good to me. The tab is good. Now I'm going to positions tab. Okay, the positions tab. So I click that. So it will ask me select the surface I want to put the hole. So I'll select the surface. So don't click the 3D sketch because it's going to be complicated. So just select a surface. Okay, select the surface, and I want to put a hole here, and I want to put a hole in the other direction as well. And after that, as you can see, they're all blues. Okay, they're all blues, which means you need to dimension them. Okay, so I go to Smart Dimension. Okay, so I give a distance. Let's look at the distance there. So at the beginning, distance between two holes is going to be 250. Okay, 250, and this is in the center. So I am going to back here. So I go here to there is 250. Okay, 250. And also the half of that is going to be 125. So I'm going to dimension here to the origin. So as you can see, it does not allow me to select the origin, right? So what I can do is I go here again. Okay, I go here again. Then select the origin. Okay, by doing this, I selected the origin. Then I select this point as well, and I give a dimension. Says 250 divided by 2. Then this is my dimension. As you can see, they're all still blue. The reason of that because I haven't tail is horizontal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give a relation. Says add relation, and select those 2 points, and also origin. So it doesn't let me to pick. So once again, I go here, and I select the origin, and say it's vertical. Then say OK. Then after I do that, as you can see, they're all black. Okay, they're all black. Then I say OK for my holes. So I could double check by click here. So everything is fully defined. Okay, so all sketches, they are fully defined. So you can look at yours as well. So this is the part, and I could give a better view. Then save the work. Then I'm good to turn it in. And you can also look at yours. And if you're ready, then go ahead and turn it in. And that's about chapter 6 for tutorial 3. And thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.